Because they say that philosophy is the glue that holds everything together. What is Sameeksha Capital's investment philosophy? What does it mean to you? If you can highlight some of the guiding principles.
So, you start with the word Sameeksha, it means careful analysis. And doing careful analysis means, it requires a lot of work. So first thing that we believe, I've always believed, right from, starting Credit Suisse, Asia Tech Research, all the way to Sameeksha, is that upfront investment in the right resources is very important. So we have always invested in people ahead of our size, ahead of our revenues, without worrying too much about profitability. We believe that that investment eventually pays off, and it has so far. And so we continue to invest heavily in resources, which is people. Second is that to implement our approach to investing, we have created a set of rules, set of processes that we want to follow in a sincere way. And to follow them, we also deploy technology. And and while deploying technology requires some special tools, some special techniques, and for that we have in-house software development. So in that way, we are very unique in our industry. Very, very few entities like us would have in-house software development. We're very proud of our in-house software development capabilities. Now, we have been writing in our information deck for investors that investing is not entertainment for us. Most of the time, it is doing very boring, tedious work. Interestingly, we found a similar quote by one very successful investor. He said, "If investing is entertaining, if you are having fun, you are probably not making any money." So we completely agree with that. Doing investing is a lot of hard work. We have very elaborate checklists that we have to follow, and so that is a process that very, very few people enjoy. We are lucky to find such such people who join us, and the successful research analysts that work with us end up basically embracing our process, and they also actually help us modify them and improve them over time. The other thing is that we respect the market. I remember a quote by Professor Raghuram Rajan, the former governor of RBI. He once said that if you see a pot of gold lying on the street, first question you ask is, why has anybody else not picked it up? So when we see opportunities in the market and we find something undervalued, we ask a lot of questions. If we invest in a company and the stock is not performing, then we ask more questions, that why is that happening? So we respect the market. Having said that, we look for opportunities that are unrecognized by the market, and I think that is where doing detailed work actually helps you, because you can hear a lot of reasons why this stock is cheap. When you talk to other investors, they will give you a lot of potential reasons. But when we go deeper into it, and when we kind of address those reasons, then we can develop conviction that despite those reasons, this is actually a genuine value opportunity. And that actually results in a very successful investment for us. And the last thing I would say about philosophy is integrity. And to us, integrity is at the heart of everything we do. And it is about doing the right thing even when nobody is watching. One of the places where I can point out is in the calculation of fees, performance fees in particular. We have seen we have been now doing this for all 9 years. We have seen many variations in the ways in which performance fee is calculated. And if we found that something that we were doing was not fair to investors, we have modified our method. And today I can safely say that the way we calculate performance fees is comparable to the best in the market in terms of fairness to the investors. And I think so. And this we have done on our own. We have recently also decided to modify something in favor of the investors, because for example, we believe that in future, as index funds become more available, investors would have a choice of investing in an index fund. So we are trying to link our fees such a way that if the investor returns should not drop below index returns. So I think integrity is at heart of everything we do. I think as we don't have any side pockets. I don't run a private portfolio of stocks. Everything that I have in direct Indian equities is in the Sameeksha's PMS or AIF.